Now let us continue our Python programming using IDLE, Integrated Development and Learning Environment. IDLE can be used to execute single statement just like we did earlier in command prompt by using Python shell. It can also be used to create, modify and execute Python program files. IDLE provides a fully featured text editor to create Python programs that includes features like syntax highlighting, auto-completion and proper indentations in the code block, etc. And how do I get this IDLE? IDLE is installed when you install Python, and IDLE is available in the Python directory. So I have already created the shortcut of IDLE here, and you can use this shortcut to invoke this IDLE. So as I said, here IDLE, in the IDLE we can give individual commands like we did earlier. Say just one example, a is equal to say 5 and a, and type of a, and you can also see there it will display the syntax also to give the command. So and it shows it is the type of the variable a is int. Now let us start with a few of the programs which I already have written, because we have to learn it quickly. So I just want to open one file. Now let me just open this particular file and can look at this particular program file. This is the editor now. Program file is already I have written this program to add two complex numbers. A is equal to 3 plus 9j, b is equal to 3 plus 12j, c is equal to a plus b. And now I am printing complex number a, I am printing complex number b, and after I want to also display the addition, result of the addition of complex number a and b, for which again I am displaying the result. And after that I just want to individually display the real part of c and the imaginary part of c. So I can do that also. I can individually access the real and imaginary parts. So now I want to run this particular program. So I'll say run, and I'll use run module. You can just look at this. It has gone back to this Python shell, and it is displaying. Okay, I'll just bring this here. So complex number a, so it is printing complex number a's value 3 plus 9j. Complex number b, it is displaying the value of complex number b, that is 3 plus 12j. Result of addition complex number c 6 plus 21j, and the real part of complex number c 6.0, and imaginary point of complex number c 21 it is displaying. So this is how I can load already written program and I can execute it. Now another advantage of using IDLE is I can open multiple program file windows. Now let me open one more program file, that is say I have here string operations, one more file. Now this particular program is performing different types of operations on string. I have got some of the functions already, available functions to perform some of the operations. Now here you can just see, look at this, I have both the program files being open, so I can use that. See here, string operation. So here I have initialized strn1 with hello, strn2 with my dear Python learners, and I'm just printing the first string printing the second string, and then I want to concatenate two strings, strn1 and strn2. So for which I'll be just using this particular plus operator, addition operator. So strn3 is equal to strn1 plus strn2. So now strn3 will have concatenated string, that is strn1 plus strn2. Now I can also find the length of the string. So to find the length of the string, I will have just len. I will have this particular function len, and I want to find the length of this particular resultant concatenated string, that is strn3. Now I can also convert a string to uppercase as well as lowercase. Here string converted to uppercase, for which I have to use this particular upper method. So I am invoking that upper method using this dot operator, strn3 dot upper, and I am also converting this particular string strn3 into into lowercase, complete lowercase. But the original string is not changed. Only it is invoking this particular upper and lower methods to perform this respective operations. Now I can also access the substring in a string. So you can just look at this strn3 of 3. What does it strn3 and subscript is 3, so it will get me the third character. And here again I have here accessing after the 9th character till the end. I want to access after 9th character, that is from 10th character onward till the end of the string, for which I just have to use inside this particular square bracket 9 then colon. So after 10th character it will display till the end of the string. Similarly, I have got one more syntax here, strn3 9 colon minus 2. So what does it do? It will display the characters of string strn3 after 9th character till the end, but leaving the last two character, that is minus 2. So now let's execute this particular program. Again run module. So you can just see here the first string. Let me just try to superimpose this. Okay, you can just see this because the same shell is being used. First string is hello, it is displaying the first string hello. Second string is my dear Python learners. Concatenated string hello my dear Python learners. Length of the string is 29. You can just count the number of characters here. String converted as uppercase, hello my dear Python learners. So all uppercase. And here string is converted into lowercase and displayed, hello my dear Python learners. Then accessing the third character, that is HEL here. See here, hello. See here, it's showing this L. Accessing after the 9th character till the end, 9th character. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So after that 9th characters, right from 10th character till the end. So learners till the end, that this yes. The last one accessing after 9th character, leaving last two characters. So here you can dear Python learners. You can just see here last two characters RS is not displayed. So that is what is the syntax. So this is how you can use different methods and functions available in Python. So we can just continue with the other programming constructs also. Now let us continue. We have already discussed some of the data types, and now let us discuss some of the high level built-in data types like array, list, tuple and dictionary. So I'll be just opening different program files to discuss about these different built-in data types. So to begin with, let's look at what are arrays in Python. Of course, all of you must be knowing what is an array, but still I have given some explanation here. So what is an array? An array is a collection of elements of the same type. In Python, programmers use lists more often than arrays. Of course, lists we are going to discuss as our next topic. But if we want to use arrays in our program, we need to import array module to create arrays. So I have written here the program. So in my class, what I am doing is I am opening up the program file, and I'll be explaining the syntaxes, and I'll be executing the program so that you will have a clear-cut idea. So I want to work with array. So I have to import this array module. So you can just look at this. I have written import array as ARR. So ARR is what? Is an object of type array. So what is the syntax now to create an array variable? So syntax is array identifier name equal to array type code initializers. Okay. So here I'll come to this later. I have now created an array variable ARR1, which is equal to ARR dot array. What is this ARR? ARR is the, you can just look at this. This is ARR. So this ARR is of type object array. Okay. So ARR dot array and open parenthesis. Then I have here D. What is this D? D specifies the data type. Data type of the elements in this particular array variable ARR1. So what does this D specifies now? D specifies real time. That is, whatever elements I am going to have in this array, they are all of type real. So what are the values here? 1.3, 6.3, 9.3 is the value. So here the syntax given is array identifier name, in our case that is ARR1, then array type code comma initializers, that is ARR dot array. Then what I have the data type specifier, then the initializing values. Okay, so after that I am going to display this, we'll execute this. Then as I said here okay, now in this case what I have, in the next example you can just look at this. We have got one more example here. We have created one more array variable ARRY2. In the first case it was ARR1. Here in this case ARRY2, which is equal to ARR dot array open parenthesis, then I. What I specifies? I specifies integer. That is, the elements of this particular array ARRY2 are integer values, and they are in this case 13, 33 and 66. And I am going to display the content of this particular array. So I will write here, okay, array. Okay. So we are going to execute this, and we have got similarly different codes can be used to represent different data types that I am going to show you. And I also have different operations. I have written one more note here. Different operations can also be performed on array variables. When I am discussing different loops like for, while, we will again come back to these array variables and will perform different types of operations on array variable. Okay, so let's execute this program. Okay, I have to change it. I had made some changes. I said okay. So you can just look at this particular result here. Output also. This is the program and this is the output. See here. So I have here what are the contents in ARR1, that is 1.3, 6.3, 9.3. I have just printed. You can just look at this. I have printed this particular using this particular statement. I have printed the content of variable ARR1. What is that? It is 1.3, 6.3, 9.3. Similarly, this is what output of ARR by 2 What is that? 13, 33, 66. So this is just one simplest operations I have performed, that is just assigning the values, initializing an array and just displaying the content of that particular array. And I was talking to you about different other data type specifiers. So let's, I have just here, you can just look at this. These are the different data types. So I had used what? D for specifying real values, and it is C type is double, and Python type is float, and minimum size in bytes is 8. So we have used signed int, that is int, and for which I used type code as I. Okay, so these are the different type codes I can use to specify the type of elements in a array variable. Okay.